Hey, how's it going? Well, I hope this is loud enough. I could raise my voice, but I can't really regulate it uh, continuously the whole time, so I'm not even going to try to do that. We'll just hope for the best. So, I have cards, and I don't really have anything to say. Like, I didn't have anything of note happen, really. Just the regular stuff. It was, oh, I guess, like, yay, my Social Security check came. That made me happy. Um, it was a good day. The reason why it sounds like I'm kind of iffy about it is because it was one of those days where I had to repeat things several times, and I don't know what's different, but like my account was weird online because you can look at your balance, and so I was trying to do that, and the thing that was supposed to be there was gone, and this is the second time that that's happened in the past couple of days. And then I hit like, if you don't pay your phone bill fast enough, even if it's before it's due, I don't know about your phone carrier, but mine will just be all, I'm going to start taking away services one by one. Like, seriously, like a fingernail here, an ear there, a tooth, they just like take away services. And okay, let's not go there. You probably have a similar experience. So anyway, the phone carrier was a factor because for some reason, I don't know why this is happening, but I'm listening to music on my headphones, and I go inside a store and the music just cuts off, and I go to turn it back on, and it's all, you don't have internet. I'm like, what are you talking about? I just had internet. And it's all, what's your password? And I was like, dang, I never know that, and I just changed it today, so it was like double dang. And then I went to the next, well, no, then I went back home after I made my purchase and got the internet turned back on, and went to the next place, which was the supermarket, and the music cut off in there. Like, it's never happened before in both places. And like, well, I've had the Wi-Fi for 2 years now. It's just weird. Like, why? I mean, does it have to do with the same thing affecting my Social Security? Should I be talking about it? If I do now, it doesn't matter because he already knows I'm here. Anyway, not here specifically, but anyway, what else? Oh my gosh, I had an appointment, and so I'm out running around trying to do stuff, thinking that I have like 6 hours, and then they call when I'm on my way out for the second round, and they're all, oh hey, can we like bump the appointment forward a half an hour? And I was like, sure, okay. Oh, and that's the other thing. And this is every time I have to go out, and it's that once you're in a wheelchair, things take a lot longer for you to accomplish. It's more than just the chair itself, but it adds to the joy, because then you have like whatever has put you in the chair to contend with as well while you're trying to do stuff. I used to like take a shower, get everything all washed up and clean, and be out of there. I'd be like, take the fastest showers of all of my friends. I'd be sitting out there turning to dust, waiting for my girlfriends, even my guy friends. Like, what are you doing? You don't wear makeup? Come on! I was quick, like, I didn't walk fast enough for everybody else, but anyway, this is no time to get nostalgic. Anyway, so I just was getting really frustrated because usually I get really frustrated because I can't get out fast enough. And what'll happen is I'm so slow. I'll look outside and go, okay, cool, I'm gonna go out. And it'll take me forever to get out there. And then by the time I'm ready to go, I'll open the door and it's a downpour or a blizzard or whatever weather that I don't want to be out there in. So, that kind of thing. But today, it was that kind of thing. And a schedule that even, not there yet. But I was already rushed, and then they're like, half an hour sooner. I was like, I can't get out of here. So I finally get out, go to the second place, and the music cuts off again. I was like, can't go. I'm not going back home. It's just going to shut off again anyway. So it's fine. Did my business. Everything I needed was there, which was not a guarantee because today was payday for all of the other people getting their social money, or they got it on the first. Like it was, it was a zoo in there. But it was okay. I mean, everybody was pleasant, and it wasn't like Thanksgiving, Christmas time when everybody's just like, well, you're shoulder to shoulder for one thing, and then they're like, they see a wheelchair come in and like, and they just turn around. I feel the same way about you, pal. I'm sorry I said it. Whichever thing I said, I'm sorry. Excuse me. What the heck was I saying? Yeah, whatever. It was fine in the store, and everything I needed was there, which is not always the case. And then I was almost all the way home. And no, I got all the way home and realized I forgot an item, and I was like, oh no. So I went back to Rite Aid. And Rite Aid has looked like it's going out of business because almost all of the stock on the shelves that I would be interested in, which was the candy, basically, sometimes other items, but they had like some grocery items. And the reason I went to Rite Aid instead of going all the way to the supermarket again, because I thought I could avoid that. And I get into Rite Aid, and there's a sign taped to the door, and it says, we're not going out of business, and it explained how they just finished Chapter 11. I know that's some kind of bankruptcy thing, so I guess, I don't know, they won? I don't know. But the shelves were the barest I'd ever seen them. You used to be able to go in there and find one of those ridiculous little boxes of sugar, which would have been great. I ended up with like a $3 quart of chocolate milk because I was not going back to Safeway. The later in the day that it gets, like, school was already out the last time that I was there. When the adults start getting out too, almost at the same time, you can't even, like, it's crazy. So I was like, I'm not going back there. I'm sure you've experienced busy stores, people. Anyway, so I made it back home. But and then there's like other stuff that I'm not even mentioning. Oh, but while I was on my way home, I stopped at the office here where I live to pay my rent, and I look, my phone starts blowing up, and I'm like, ooh, who's texting me? Nobody has my number. And it's the person I have the appointment with, and she's over an hour and a half early. I was like, can I have a life? What are appointments for? But luckily I got home. And that's what I mean. It was just like, it was a testy day. I just was being tested all day. Yay, I think I did okay. hey, it's been feeling crazier lately, and I'm not even talking about the political climate. I'm just talking about like astrological stuff, meteorological stuff, and other things too that is just making everybody around you inflamed in one direction or the other, or many, I don't know, because forget the political climate, you have stuff going on anyway. You know, I mean, everybody's got something going on. So yeah, but okay, so I did say that nothing really stood out today. Well, I guess the testing thing kind of stood out, so I don't know what the hell I was talking about. But the other thing is, I've been watching Longmire because I like a Western. And one of the episodes I saw today had this, like, prison transfer that, of course, turned into a prison break. And I mean, it's formulaic, but I like that sometimes. I like that a lot, actually, because then your brain doesn't have to work too hard, and it can work on other stuff at the same time. Uh-oh. So, prison transfer that turns into prison break, and there is the car stop. It's happening in like a Bronco or something. The transfer, and there's like a cage, like the kind you have your dog behind in a domestic vehicle. That's kind of what it looked like, and so the car has to stop, and then they have like a small conversation about what's in front of them blocking, and you don't see it right away. The prisoner asks what's blocking the road, and he gets to look, and then everybody starts talking about it. Not for very long, but then you see it's a buffalo. So the reason why the buffalo was standing there, one of the character goes, oh, I can't remember what they said, but it was something to the effect of, oh, they're blocking the way so their kid could cross. There was a calf, and it was a white buffalo calf, and that is in like Lakota Sioux mythology. Actually, I think all of the sort of North American indigenous tribes have that. I don't want to call it mythology, but it's sort of there's like a spiritual meaning to when there's an albino calf, and they don't happen that often. The prisoner actually quotes the information about that, and I don't remember, but it was something like 1 in every 10,000 or 15,000 or something like that. So it's not super rare, but it's when they appear that has the significance the most. So like one's showing up right now, and several actually different species, not just buffalo white, like I think there was a white elk, which they're also giant, not when they're babies, but they get there. So, but like right now is like those times in the legends, the myths, I don't know, the stories about them. That's when it's like a big deal when they arrive, and because it's supposed to signify the arrival of basically the age of Aquarius, but especially, well, actually, that's wrong. That's not what it's supposed to signal. What it signals is the world going to crap, and everybody having to go ask the most ancient people, what the heck do we do? That's what the mythology is about the white buffalo calf. So it's like the anti-harbinger, I guess. And the reason why it struck me in the context of the show, like, oh, oh come on. Oh, God, you gotta let me use my arm. This is not funny. I wrote a small note about it, like a seriously small, just a note. The White Buffalo, right significance, wrong guy, gets it right, but it doesn't go his way because he's on the way there to do wrong. So he literally, when he does the break, is going to do that, go commit a crime, and that is not what the message is. That is not the assignment when the buffalo arrives. Like, you know, always the somebody evil wants to come in and steal the Declaration of Independence or whatever it is. Oh, wow. Oh, gosh, that's painful. So, I didn't really try to write about it because I just really I guess I'm in a rush. I'm tired. I want to do it before I feel tired before I start. I want to just, if that made any sense. But in the show, the guy's like the criminal's like all stoked that he knows about the buffalo. He thinks his ship has really come in, but it's just like I said, that's not really the spirit of what the buffalo has to give. And it's the symbol itself, like of a changing age. You can't like go cash it in or anything. So there's a whole like crime story too happening, of course, but that doesn't really have to do with what I want to talk about with the buffalo. I guess right now there have been, like, when was the last one born? I think a couple of months ago a white buffalo was born here in the United States. I guess that's where they mostly are, maybe in Canada. But we are like having that change of an age. Like, we are literally in that period right now. So, and I guess we do have some criminals. What the hell kind of accent was that? I guess we do have some criminals that are trying to like take advantage of the moment, and well, they're not trying. I mean, they're kind of totally succeeding. I mean, if the goal is to just destroy your own government in the United States and you work in the government and you're not one of the people being fired, then no points for you. Like, it's like the Jupiter thing in astrology. Jupiter, if it shows up in your chart, it's generally thought to be like a great thing to happen. And in most cases, no. Because actually it's kind of precise astrology. And I think it has a lot to do with like the timing of when Jupiter comes into your sign. And then also the timing of the sign opposite Jupiter. Because I think that affects Jupiter. And it also depends on the time. So, but another thing that I have learned about Jupiter in astrology is that it can be a good thing and it can aid you, and you can, like, things will be great and really looking up for you, but you can also sort of like overreach in that state of mind and lose sight of like get a big head and screw up in that kind of way, like as an example. So I guess how are we gonna direct our user experience in the time of the white buffalo as individuals? Let's just say that is sort of the general, not a question, because that's kind of, you can't, I don't know. It's not, it's too vague. So let's just say that's just the general tone and see what we get. So, first card is Sunstone. I think this is the stone. If you ever saw that show Vikings with Ragnar in the first season, and his brother and Floki with the heavy eyeliner. I think it was on History, and it was in the United States. The show came from there, not the Vikings. Anyway, they talk about, they're like serializing the first Vikings that figured out, or not, actually they weren't the first ones to figure out that you could navigate using the sun and a sunstone, and I don't remember exactly how, but man, you have to look that up. I don't even want to make a guess at it, because it was, I remember watching it and going, yeah, right. But evidently that's what they really did. And what they used was something called a sunstone. So I'm assuming that this is the thing, and I don't know if it looks like it or not. I don't remember. It's been a while. It's nice. It's beautiful, though. So the subtitle is Sun. I am not pretty. I am not beautiful. I am as radiant as the sun. Well, that's like saying you're just on a whole other order of appreciation to the eye or beholder or whatever. Like, well, I mean, are we supposed to take that tone ourselves? You know, they're always saying, in fact, today, they, being the spiritual community, in fact, today I did see, so I think it was somebody's title card or thumbnail, rather, that said, oh, no, it was a spiritual message I think somebody posted, but it said, you don't have to be so small. You're much bigger than like, be bigger. You totally can. My cat just scared the living poo out of me. Bigger, like the sun. The sun is, like, enormous and full of all this power. When this is imbued with something, with the sun, evidently it allowed people to navigate large swatches of planet Earth in their rowboats. That's crazy. Like, wow, just make use of every little thing around you. That's kind of like, that's what it's there for. Come on. I'm not just a rock. I'm not pretty. I'm not beautiful. I'm as radiant as the sun. Could be a little sun chip for all you know. So anyway, the next card is, oh, Dumor Tierra. Dumortierite. You try and pronounce that. Stop glaring on it. Well, that sure looks like a lake, you know, like the water has washed away from the shore and that's what's underneath. Does it look wet? Anyway, you know what, let's look this one up. I don't think I've ever even heard of this one. But the subtitle is Wisdom, and it reads, the fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. Sage wisdom. It's a reminder, you know, like, just like get over yourself, I think. But also of Dunning-Kruger syndrome. Okay, what was I looking at? Okay. No. More. Oh, and you know what? It's got "ite" at the end, so maybe it's a meteorite. We'll see. trying to see what the properties are. Everything's so tiny. Oh my goodness. So, I have money. I can't spend it though. Shoot. So here's what it says. I'm not going to try to say it again. Do more to your right. I guess I am going to try to say it again. Stone of Patience. Support, harmony, tranquility. Dimerite is often called the Stone of Patience and helps bring calm, relaxation, and harmony to those of us who wear it. It is beneficial when patience is needed, as the universe reminds us that we are precisely where we need to be. As a supportive stone, it also encourages confidence, being true to oneself, and standing up for one's beliefs and feelings. Duramventurite is said to symbolize truth, charity, focus, and discernment. Okay, I just want to say, I pulled these cards this morning. They came out face down, so I just started laying them face down. Right now is the first time I'm looking at them. I love doing that. What was I just talking about? All that rambling before I actually got to the cards. Whoa. That's too big. It's beneficial when we need patience. I was just talking about having the day that tested my patience. And I tend to think that if something's happening with me, it's probably happening also with other people. Something similar. It says a little bit more about this stone. Chakra, throat, third eye. Zodiac, Leo. Element, air. Crystal system. Orthombic. Okay, it's not that hard to say. It's not as hard to say as the actual stone. One of these days, I'm going to just fill my house with rocks. I don't really have anything to add. I think that it's very convenient that that particular card came up. It did help me expand on not much but finding the card. So, the wisdom. No, I did talk about that. I get forgetful. So the next card is Aragonite. Aragonite? Aragonite. Oh yeah, that is it. Aragonite. Oh, you want to see? Would you like to see? It sort of reminds me of, well, it sort of reminds me of coral. It was the first thing I was going to say. And then my mind was all, yeah, it reminds me of a crystal. Really? That's what we're talking about. Anyway. It also looks sort of like ice formation. A weird one, but it does that sometimes, depending on what it's sitting on. Change is the subtitle. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. You know, now's the time. The time is now for that very thing. Although people have been saying that for a while, it's just starting to catch on now. Since Obama said it, I'm sure somebody else said it before him, but he said it, and at the time that he said it, I was like, man, shut up with that. I have since had a change of heart, but you have to understand that in many ways I liked him, not so much about being a president part, although that is a silly thing to say because I would love to have his presidency again. I would not love to see so many people get droned and whatever kind of stuff like that and deported. That was don't pander to those other people. That kind of thing about his administration used to drive me crazy. But he had other good qualities. He had a sense of humor. I didn't feel like impending doom was dropping from above. Anyway, the next card is Chiastolite. I'm just going to make up a new name every time. So I've talked about this being the hammer. Because it has... It looks like a claw hammer, and you know how it has the claw on one end and then the round poundy part on the other. I've never seen, they get damaged, but I've never seen one get damaged so symmetrically. It's just interesting that it looks so much like that. And then the handle, that sure looks like a wooden handle. I have a hammer, like about, I don't know, 15 feet away. I could go grab it, but it would take forever, so I'm not going to do that. You know what a wait. Oh, you wouldn't be waiting, I'd pause it, but actually, if I did that, I should just leave it on so you could hear me losing my mind trying to access the hammer. Anyway, enough about me in my closet. The subtitle is Unwavering Tenacity. Well, speaking of unwavering tenacity and, you know, having to get through like an obstacle course to get out of the house, you need that unwavering tenacity. Yeah, the tenacity was not what was wavering. That was my patience. So this card reads, temper us in fire and we grow stronger. When we suffer, we survive. Well, it wasn't as dramatic as all that. I mean, it could have become that way, but it would have been more about me having the spaz than it would have been about any true drama. It would have just been... Thankfully, I live alone, and the only one that I have to be embarrassed in front of is the cat, but he has some serious side-eye. Like, you know, they say cats judge you. It's not like he does not understand me, huh, Puffer? Nothing. Did you lose your bell? Sorry. I have another card. It's the last one. I will stop torturing you. It's Jade. I love, this is a dark jade. I've lived, you don't need to know all of that. There's different colors, though, of jade. So the subtitle is Fear. I wasn't expecting that. Oh, there's a peacock on here. If you were unable to make it out, etched onto the jade stone. Seriously, I don't need all of that glare. Can you please stop? 1 second. Oops. I don't want the card to be me going, oh, don't do it again. Don't do it more so it'll definitely be in the front. So, yeah, peacock. That's weird. It looks like a hand on there. Oh, my goodness. At least I got my arm up this time. I was going to say that the peacock's claw was on there. See? But it looks kind of like a hand. Is a peacock standing on someone? Violent peacock. Mating peacock. Get away from my woman. Oh, wow, it's blue, too. Or am I tripping out? Hey, I could be. I was watching a video earlier of somebody walking their dog in the snow, and I was seeing all kinds of colors on that snow. I have not taken a hallucinogen, like, in years. And it's not the smoke, because I do that every day, and that does not happen normally. And he wasn't putting in any effect. It was a video of a dog walk. That's you know, filming that and holding leashes. Plenty of activity. Anyway, Fear. Back to Fear. Let's see what it says. Becoming fearless isn't the point. That's impossible. It's learning how to control your fear and how to be free from it. Free from it. Okay, so that is a good piece of advice for people in the United States, people in where they have war and the violence and that type of thing. And I don't know. I mean, pretty much all of the stuff that makes you unhappy is like a breeding ground for fear. And I'm so sorry that that's happening. I mean, it's not fun to go through, right? But, let's take a step back. Let's go up above things and take a wider, look and remember that there's a couple of things going on here. So, again, yes, it is sad. It's very tragic. There's a lot of cruelty happening. There's a lot of violence, unnecessary actions, just like out of proportion behavior that's very destructive. And I think it's a lot of clocks ticking for a lot of the people behind this stuff, because it's like, these are men I'm talking about, like leveraged leader type people, and it's like there's so much going on with the ego and the drive of acquisition and to conquer, and trying to relive like a past life from 300 years ago or some crap where it's not applicable today. I mean, things change and times change and things have to change with them. Otherwise, things don't line up well and it creates bad friction. Like, you want things to go smoothly, even if it's like not to my liking. Like Obama's term, there's a lot going on there that was not to my liking, but things went smoothly. I don't know. I mean, can there be a middle ground? Can we figure that out? Because, boy, I mean, are you not? I don't know. I mean, I'm ready for it. Just, can I relax? Can we not, have to be all, I'm not worried, I'm not afraid. Like, that gets old. So, it's just one of those days, it was fine. I got through it. We got through it, I imagine. And barring other catastrophes pre-existing or oncoming, it was okay. Today was all right. I hope it was for you too. Thank you and good night.